All right. All right. So everyone, hi, I'm Paul Agarwal. Welcome to our award ceremony for the 2022-23 STEDTRAIN Seed Grants. The 11 teachers and educators from the Northern Alabama, South Central Tennessee area, congratulations. You have done really good stuff. You've got some really great proposals, and I really look forward to what work you can do with your students in the coming year. I'm going to kick things off and hand it off to our president of HATS, the Huntsville Association of Technical Societies, Allison. And I imagine you want a slide change.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate it. And again, welcome everyone to the 2022 STEDTRAIN Awards program. We are so happy and excited for you all to be here today. Just to echo what Paul was saying, we received a lot of wonderful proposals with some great ideas for your kiddos to work with. So we are super happy to have you here, and we hope you enjoy the program today. Next slide, please, Paul. Or Ron, you're doing the slides. Thank you. So as Paul mentioned, I am the president of HATS, which stands for the Huntsville Association of Technical Societies. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization and the parent organization of STEDTRAIN. We've been around for 52 years, if you can believe that. So we are super excited to be a stronghold in the Huntsville community, helping teachers advance their STEM programs and working with the local professional technical organizations. Next slide. Ron. Thank you. So our mission is to coordinate, promote, and support. We're trying to coordinate the professional and educational and civic activities in the Huntsville community, as well as promote their goals as well, trying to bring a place to support all the technical societies so they can all come together in one location or through one organization to share ideas, any struggles that they're having, and really just to collaborate amongst all the organizations from a technical standpoint here in the Huntsville area. Looking to advance those STEM, those engineering, those science, technical skills as well. Next slide. So our membership started 52 years ago with 6 charter societies. We are currently at 28 technical societies here in the Huntsville area. That's representing over 18,000 technical professional members and society members, if you add it all up together. We're looking to represent those in North Alabama and South Central Tennessee. That's why they call it the Tennessee Valley area. Those organizations that are technical professionals, area businesses, government agencies, education institutions, and other nonprofit organizations such as HATS. Next slide, please. So speaking of those charter members, I do want to call them out. You see them listed here, those 6. Without them, we would not be here today. So we truly appreciate their continued dedication and service to HATS. Some of you all may belong to some of those technical societies. I know IEEE has been supporting HATS again since the beginning, and they're very, very strong supporters of STEDTRAIN as well. So we thank all of our charter members for your continued support to HATS and STEDTRAIN. Next slide. So over to the right, you'll see the board members. Again, I'm the current president. I believe Will Goins is on. He's a member of IEEE and also the vice president of HATS as well. You see Ron Hackett. He's our IT guru, just as he is for STEDTRAIN. He's the one running the slideshow here. And then Paul Agarwal, of course, is the STEDTRAIN president or acting president, and he is a part of our board as well. Next slide. I wouldn't be able to talk about HATS without talking about Woodrow Allen Woody Williams. As you all know, he was one of the founders of HATS and STEDTRAINs. He's been part of the organization for 52 years. We lost him early this year, and it just hasn't been the same without him. So I had to say something about Woody and to acknowledge all the great that he has done for both organizations. So I just want to thank you, Woody, for your 50 years of service, or over 50 years of service, and we miss and we love you very, very much. Next slide. So one thing that HATS does is we provide the Professional of the Year Awards. It's called the POY. That's broken down into 3 separate awards: the Society of the Year, our Young Professional of the Year, which is named after Bill Rourke, and our Professional of the Year Award, which is named after Joseph Moquin. That event's going to be virtual on October the 6th at 5:30 at the Torch Freedom Center. We'll be live streaming that. If you're interested in attending, to see all the technical societies and who they've nominated for their Professionals of the Year, you're welcome to join. Again, it's free to attend. There's a registration link there. I'm not going to dwell on this, but our POY chair is Kara Morgan. So please reach out to board@hats.org if you're interested in participating or joining, just to cheer everybody on. Again, next slide. I think that's my last slide. Oh, we also have the QR codes if you want to take a picture of the nominations. If you belong to any of our technical societies and you'd like to nominate someone, please get those in as well. Again, I just want to welcome everybody to the STEDTRAIN Awards program today, and we're happy to have you here, and I'm just excited to see what you all have proposed and everything else. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Allison. We're going to do a brief overview of the STEDTRAIN committee. It's a committee of HATS. It began in 1988. We have attained nonprofit status through our association with HATS, and we, of course, support the kindergarten through 12th grade seed grants. We had the website kickoff in 2004, and as all of you teachers, educators know, we can now do a full proposal online submission, courtesy of Ron Hackett and his great support of both HATS and STEDTRAIN, which allows us to process a number of proposals and get them reviewed out and get the results back to you, winners of the 2022-23 STEDTRAIN seed grants. Over the years, we've had over 600 awards granted and over $650,000 of donations distributed to area teachers. So take a bow, because you are standing on the shoulders of other educators who over the years have had a massive impact in getting STEM related school activities out to our area children, and we are very thankful for all what the educators do. Next slide, please. Quick introduction. Allison Rhen, who you just heard from, is the HATS president, serves on the STEDTRAIN committee, as does Allison Cash, another Allison. She's the HATS treasurer. She's with Dynetics. Mike Barron is the chair of the STEDTRAIN committee. I am the vice chair. And next slide. Ron, you see there in photo and live on the the stream today, is a very accomplished technical person and musician, and he also serves as our webmaster for both HATS and STEDTRAIN. So thank you, Ron. Minnie is the president of DMS Technology. She, in times when we are able to meet in person, allows us to use her facility when we meet in person. We very much appreciate her support. Jane Jones, retired Huntsville City school teacher. Nan Odell, another retired teacher on our committee from the Huntsville City Schools area. Next slide. Jennifer, who is on board with Lockheed Martin today. Jennifer, any thoughts, words on the committee?
My unmute button, no, but very excited to see this next year take off, and hopefully COVID won't have as much impacts as it has the last 2 years.
Oh man, no kidding there. Couldn't agree more. Laura Romanchik is the Georgia Tech GTRI representative and the host of today's session. Any words of wisdom, Laura?
Nope, just ready to get kicked off this year and have a successful completion for all these programs.
Okay, thank you very much. And then rounding out the committee members are Barbara Murphy, another retired teacher, and Lori Nelson, recently retired teacher who isn't able to join us today because she's supporting the arrival of a new grandchild. So she's won't be able to join us, but we congratulate Lori and her son and daughter-in-law. Next slide, please. As we mentioned, we lost Woody earlier this year. Another former member of our committee, Andy Setlow, great friend and donor for the organization, unfortunately deceased as well. And then one of the founders of STEDTRAIN, Miss Dr. I should say, Philomena Gradska. Again, tip our hat to her and all the good work that she has done for STEDTRAIN over the years. Next slide. STEM possible. First and foremost, let's kick it off with Joe Fitzgerald representing the Space and Missile Defense Working Group. Joe, take it.
Thank you. Yes, I'm Joe Fitzgerald, and I am the chairman of the Space and Missile Defense Working Group. It is a group that's organized under the National Defense Industrial Association. It's in its 35th year. I happen to have been privileged to have served as also the president of HATS many years ago, and have been affiliated with HATS and STEDTRAIN for maybe not the 52 years, but probably 50 years. So Woody and I were very close friends, and I was very close with HATS and have been for these many years, and have grown very fond of and become an ardent supporter of the grants program. The working group, the Space and Missile Defense Working Group, as I indicated, is in its 35th year. Its mission is to educate the public on the need for a robust missile defense system, and we've been very successful in doing so over these years. And we've got a system that will defend us against ballistic missile attack. However, the mission continues. We have meetings on a monthly basis, and we're quite active and have about 450, 500 members here in the North Alabama area. Space and Missile Defense Working Group has been very active. We were the founding organization, one of 3 founding organizations for the Space and Missile Defense Symposium, which was just held here 3 weeks ago, on August the 9th, 10th, and 11th, here at the Von Braun Center. We had about 7,000 people in attendance at the VBC. I think that's where I contracted COVID, actually, as a matter of fact. But at any rate, it was 7,000 of my closest friends at the at the Von Braun Center, and it was a very, very successful symposium. That's where we derive our funds. That's where we obtain our funds to be able to make these kinds of hefty contributions and make changing initiatives for our community. The Space and Missile Defense Working Group itself awards graduate fellowships at the master's and PhD levels. The NDIA chapter, Tennessee Valley chapter, awards 4-year undergraduate scholarships. And the Space and Missile Defense Working Group is very proud to be a supporter of HATS STEDTRAIN, and it's one of its major benefactors because of its K through 12 STEDTRAIN STEM grants, which we've been I think we've been associated with STEM as long as I can remember. It's certainly been over 20-25 years. We've been a major contributor to K through to STEM and to HATS STEDTRAIN. One thing that I've appreciated about HATS STEDTRAIN for these many years is that it puts money directly into the palms, into the hands of the teacher. The classroom goes straight into the classroom. There's no you don't have to do a bypass go and collect $200. You don't have to do all these kinds of things. It goes directly to you, the teacher. And so that's what I've become. That's what I have grown to be most appreciative of K through 12. Now, NDIA and SMD, Space and Missile Defense Working Group, are very proud of the fact that we support STEM from K through 12, undergraduate programs, baccalaureate programs, as well as master's, PhD. So as I indicated the other day when I spoke at a dinner, we were very proud of the fact, and it's through STEDTRAIN that we're able to do that. Very proud of the fact that we support K through PhD, kindergarten through PhD, and we're very, very, very proud of that. But don't let me, I do not want to conclude my talk without thanking those that, not only those that make this possible through STEDTRAIN, the STEDTRAIN committee and the HATS organization, and all that's done over these many years. But most importantly, to thank our teachers who take on a very difficult job each and every day. And I am just most proud of you, and thank you for all you do. We can't thank you enough. But I know you'll use these funds wisely. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Paul. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe. And again, thank you for your continuous and much appreciated support of STEDTRAIN.
Thank you.
Will, do you have a few words to say on IEEE and its association with STEDTRAIN over the years?
Thank you very much, Paul. Will Goins, the section vice chair. Thank each of you for, as Joe mentioned, being our hands and feet to K through 12. Today I'll talk just a little bit about educational activities in the Huntsville area. From an overview perspective, the IEEE is an international organization. We're the world's largest professional association advancing technologies to benefit humanity. We publish technical journals, sponsor conferences, develop technical standards, and support professional interests of over 375,000 members. But more important here locally, slide please. We have our hands and feet, how we get to future engineers, how we can support our community. And so locally, we have many outreaches through the robotics programs, through specific conferences, but most importantly, the things that really get to the students where we want to be as helpful as we can is through STEDTRAIN. We can put money into teachers' hands, come beside them, help them walk through a way to provide STEM capabilities to young minds. That's the most important time to develop an interest in the technical areas that have become so useful to not only our community, but to our state, nation, and world. Slide, please. This year, we were pleased to be able to present a grant of $2,000 to STEDTRAIN. We hope that it goes well, and we're looking forward to many years of additional support. We have one initiative that I'd like to give you just a quick update on, and that is our Try Engineering. It aims to empower the educator and foster next generation of technology. This is an online service that offers tools and techniques that can be employed in the business world and in the education world. Slide, please. Just a quick overview. This is the website. There are, again, tools and techniques that are available for educators and for students alike. Again, as I conclude, I want to thank the teachers for their continued work to advance technology and reach our next generation of engineers. Thank you very much, and I look forward to many years to come.
Thank you very much, Will, and thank you very much for your support of STEDTRAIN. Do we have a representative from H2L Solutions?
No, we do not. And we do not have a representative from Redstone either, but both are donated very generously this year. We greatly appreciate all of our donors. We couldn't run this program without them. Unlike Joe and NDIA, we don't have any sort of a fundraising activity, so we depend on all of our generous donors for the money that we're able to pass out to teachers today.
We agree with that. Next slide. We have in-kind donors supplied by Ron Hackett is our webmaster and technical guru. And then through Laura, we have the GTRI connection, and they are helping us with the WebEx presentation that we are all participating in today. Next, please. And with that, we would like to introduce Joseph Vick, the Museum Education Director of our local Space and Rocket Center, with a really interesting presentation that I think will be of very good interest to not only the educators on board, but please pass the information you're going to hear from Joseph to your colleagues in the education area, because I think they can all benefit from the resources that we have here locally with the Space and Rocket Center. Joseph.
Well, good morning, and thank you, Paul, first for having me. And I look forward to speaking with all of you and hearing from all of you going forward, but also thank you, educators, and those that are sponsoring this organization, because I myself, right out of college, taught third grade math and science. So I know what it's like to have that need for educational resources for your classroom, those needs. And I taught in a lower socioeconomic area. So that first year teaching was quite difficult for me. I've been with the U.S. Space and Rocket Center for 15 years. That was 15 years this past February. So I have been reaching many teachers, many a student, more than I have ever thought I could going into the field of education. It's been quite enriching for me. And I know as educators, we try our best above and beyond to enrich the lives of the students in our classrooms. Wanted to start with a resource presentation. Here at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center, we have several resources for you. And I know as an educator myself, the word free is even better. So these resources are free and openly available to you through us and partnering organizations with the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. And the first I wanted to bring up is Sally Ride EarthCam, and it is out of this world, literally. This is an International Space Station payload that was actually housed and operated and facilitated here at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center with our friends at University of Alabama, Huntsville, and Teledyne Brown. This is an onboard payload on the International Space Station that has various mission times that span about a week in time. And you can visit this website. There is the homepage on the screen that you can see there, and sallyrideearthcam.org, and it allows you, the educator, to see a different perspective of Earth from what is the viewpoint of the International Space Station, 200 nautical miles above our head. It is a mounted camera that points at through the orbital period that is the International Space Station at that time during its mission. So this website allows you to see what that orbital path is. And if it happens to fly by your school, what a great opportunity it would be to capture that photo from the eyes of the ISS, from the above perspective of your school or anywhere around the world. So the next slide gives a little bit more detail. So as this, you would sign up as an educator and you would be given what is a code, and there are multiple codes that you can be given to pass out to your students in your classroom so that they could go wherever this ISS mission orbit is, and within that path, using latitude and longitude coordinates to take photographs and see what it is like from the perspective of the ISS. Now, if you have this lesson that you are trying to put forth into your classroom, you go, oh, the mission is during fall break, or it's not at a time that I'm busy that time doing something else or testing. Don't worry, because there is a gallery of images from all the previous missions that have gone on. And with all the orbits, it's pretty much spanned the globe. So you can be very adaptive for this material as seeing if you're teaching deforestation. You can see over the years, over the span of photographs where it is. You can look at geographic regions of the world. You can look at river flows. So it's quite a very useful tool if you're teaching geography, if you're teaching latitude, longitude, if you're teaching various perspectives of where things are around the world. To the right on this image is an example of if you pulled up one of those images from the gallery, where it does show exactly where it was at its photograph taken. So the latitude and longitude, and you can see where it is, and you could actually adapt this into any of your lesson plan materials, whether it's mathematics, science, social studies. Also, as part of this, there are free lesson plan materials that you can use, and those are found under the activities tab of the home screen, or you can actually see the activities tab to the right of the images tab that is in yellow on that screen. And those activity lessons were provided by the education department here at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center, and you can use and adapt those free and to your classroom ability. So next slide, please. And this is the showcase of those lesson plan materials on that activities tab. So there are lots of geography, space, in regards to International Space Station, solar system, activities that are free for you to use and adapt at any classroom level. All right, next slide, please. Another thing that is very useful to you in your classroom time is always trying to find that STEM professional, STEM workforce development type programming. So we have a program that is free and openly available called Science Never Stops. It comes in 2 different types of educational focuses, where you have the red to what is on the left of my screen here, which is an archived set of over 100 science demonstration videos that showcase mathematics, physics, all different types of subject areas that you can either use as a click and play method for your students in your classroom, or you could go through and you could actually search these and find something that you could watch, learn, and then re-demonstrate to your classroom. The one that is the Science Never Stops Plus, or yellow, or gold variety piece that you see there on the right side, that is a more streamlined focus for educators. This was provided and with generous donation grant from Northrop Grumman that we have worked in the education department here at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center with individuals at Northrop Grumman to create various 8 separate units that are of concentration for things along the lines of additive manufacturing, telescopes, radar, these various units that allow you to take these and then freely open this package and present it to your classroom. And the next slide gives a little bit more detail for searchability. So when you go to rocketcenter.com, there is a resource area. You can also find these on the Rocket Center USA YouTube channel, and these are available to use, again, for free. This is the example of the rockets unit. This was the first rollout. Here at the Rocket Center, we do rockets very well. So this is an overview of the rockets, as is the science behind rockets, how they are made, how they are produced, how they affect us here in Huntsville and around the globe. Searchability for these, to the left, you see if you are searching any of the archive, that's for Science Never Stops or Science Never Stops Plus, you can then choose which of those categories you would like by grade level, so K through 12. Searchability based on the educational standards that go with that programming. And then you go by what interest. So if you're looking for a math lesson or life sciences or astronomy, and then sort of a more general break down so what you want to learn from this. So you can pick and choose and sort of discover along the way from our archive. So the next slide will break down from that rockets unit what is available within each unit. So each unit has its introduction that tells you what this unit is and how you can apply it to your classroom use. Each one of our units comes with pre-activity resources. So these are a collection of NASA videos, historical pieces, articles that you can read or you can relate to your students for them to read as background information. Also, there is with each unit a showcase of a current STEM professional that is within this subject area. So with the rocket field, we did a local hero to me that does a lot of educational things here in the Huntsville community. The rocket chapter unit was with Terry Abel. So we interviewed Terry Abel, and he talked about all of the experience that he has gained working through Lockheed Martin and all of the things that he has done for rocket development with NASA programming. And with this unit, he actually has a demo where he brought a rocket launcher and showed that rocket engine and focused on how it is used. So that video is just a simple playback interview. And he does talk about his educational experiences and what advice he gives to the next generation. That is the same with each of the other units. So we are very active in trying to find young professionals or those that are seasoned professionals that are known in their field so they can pass on that information as to inspire that next generation of those that are interested in being aerospace engineers or rocket scientists. And then the activity itself is a lesson plan that you can actually take and adapt, or you can use these. All of these units for Science Never Stops Plus are geared with educational standards in the realm of middle grades education. But as an educator, and all of us educators know how to adapt lesson plans to the best of our ability, so those are easily adaptable. Also with the activity, it's not just a lesson plan that's written and passed along to you. We purposefully made educational videos within our education department staff to show how to do each activity. So it's a learning opportunity for you, the educator, so it explains through video, through tutorial video and discussion how to best present that material and to do that activity lesson plan. And then with the last tab for each one of the Science Never Stops programming is there is a continual learning. So we all know that learning just doesn't stop when you finish the classroom lesson. It's continual, it's building upon. So those are materials that you can use as continual learning tools for going forward with any of your future material or connective material. So next slide, please. So that is something that is very useful to you, but even more useful is the opportunity to attend our Space Academy for Educators. Now, Space Academy for Educators has been going on since the mid to late 80s here at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. Here at the Rocket Center, we are the home of Space Camp, and Space Camp just celebrated its 40th anniversary this past summer. So we had our big alumni festival event here, and we are very proud of our achievements and looking forward to celebrating in the future our 1 millionth camper coming up. So with that, campers see as they come through these facilities that there are various poster signs that are up that says through these doors come the next generation of astronauts, scientists, engineers. But we don't limit it to that. So NASA needs more than that. So they need designers, artists, anything that can be thought NASA is in the need for with our next generation missions, returning us to the moon and going forward from there. So Space Academy for Educators allows you the opportunity to network with educators from around the state, if you come through with our Alabama State programming, or around the nation, where you get to interact with teachers that are teaching in different regions and learning perspectives and exchanging, because there is a Google Drive that you share and you can put lesson plan materials and share these lesson plans with these other educators. You are going through and learning what it's like to explore with NASA opportunities and NASA lessons and NASA professionals that come and speak to you directly. Another one of our board members and friends of Space Camp that comes is also Homer Hickam. He actually was speaking to, we just had a conference conclude here at the Rocket Center, the Southern Planetarium Association, the Southeastern Planetarium Association, and Homer Hickam does interact with the educators and does great work here with the Rocket Center, as well as Mr. Fitzgerald, which is on this call, as well as one of our fantastic board members. So the next slide addresses, with Space Academy for Educators, we actually have the opportunity for Alabama educators to come for free. So the state legislature has actually provided funds to go toward funding educators to come from each school district. So my counterpart, Heather Roden, is responsible for contacting and working with those students. So this is also found on the Space Camp website. So I did just do a screenshot here. So this provides the information that allows you to immerse yourselves and be an astronaut, allows you to suspend your reality a little bit and put yourself in those moon boots, put yourself in that spacesuit so that you are an astronaut, you are a kid again, and you can actually thrive in the moment. Also with this, I'd like to point out, as an educator that was in the classroom, you're always trying to find those continuing education credits, continuing education units. You do receive those for attending this program. So with the next slide, there's some more information in regards to what is the Alabama funded program. We call that ALSAE, for Alabama Space Academy for Educators. This is the funded program for Alabama educators in each of those school districts around the state. This is a program that, again, it is free. You are reimbursed, including for your travel. We partner with our friends at the University of Alabama, Huntsville. There is the housing, the dormitories that we have you housed in there, and bus you over, and you are working with other Alabama teachers during this program. Again, I cannot stress enough that it is free. ALSAE is free to you. And these usually are on our website, again, at spacecamp.com. There is the educator page, and you can click, and then there will be soon links so that you can start up that free sign-in. There is also the other weeks of the year that are for our educators, but the ALSAE is just for Alabama teachers, but Space Camp for Educator weeks. And looking forward to, hopefully next year, we are fully up to only about 80% capacity with our Space Camp programs right now this past summer. But hopefully next year we'll get up to that 100% capacity, crossing fingers and toes for that. So with our next slide, I will focus on also, if you have the opportunity to come to our Space Academy for Educators, we applaud that. It is a wonderful program. I cannot stress that enough. But in the meantime, while you're waiting to go, we have this Facebook page that you can go to and you can like, which is our Space Academy for Educators page. That is a connective for those that are former alumni, are soon to be alumni of that program, but it's not restricted to just those that are coming or have gone to the program. It's open for all educators. And this page, we post lesson plan materials, NASA-free resources, or other resources that have openly available that are in the subject areas of space, science, STEM. And we post these and they are readily available for you to take and to use. So this is a wonderful resource page for you to go to and like and to join. And that allows you to be part of our education community here with Space Camp and the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. So I do recommend go and like that page, and there are resources that you can take and constantly updating on information with our educational programs here at the Rocket Center. And next slide, please. Now, it was mentioned earlier, so there were some times that floated around, and in my head, I had made mention 6:30. 6:30 is when we open our doors at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. The launch window is correct at 7:33 that was mentioned. 7:33 is the first launch window. So there is the historic rocket that is imaged, pictured there. Our return to the moon, which we are all excited about. As before in the 60s and through the 70s, we had the presence of men walking on the moon from 69 to 72. The engineering power that was produced out of Huntsville. Huntsville built that rocket. The manpower and woman power that was put together, that piece of engineering technology is also going toward this rocket. And we are going to again establish our human presence with commercial partners and have our individuals walk on the moon. And I say have our individuals in the sense that the Artemis generation and the astronauts that have been chosen for this Artemis mission, some are Space Camp alum. So we've had Space Camp alum achievements with astronauts before with the shuttle and ISS programs, but we will soon have the first Space Camper alum to walk on the surface of the moon. And that is quite exciting for all of us and will be a world achievement, but it will all be smiling over here at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center for that. But we will open our doors at 6:30. There will be quite a happening rock party here at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center, cheering on Artemis, cheering on all the events that have been put together for Huntsville to make this achievement happen. If you happen to have the opportunity to go down, wish you luck. I know traffic will be quite something going down there, but we will be here at the Rocket Center and have multiple screens, multiple activities, and a big party to root on Artemis. Now, if by chance something happens, we will also host the other launch window parties. If on the 29th there is a stop of the clock and it has to be moved to the 2nd of September, we will then host that party that mid-morning of September 2, just as we were going to roll out on the 29th. And then if September 2 does not occur with that launch window, we'll be here rocking for Labor Day on September 5 in that afternoon. So mark your calendars, all fingers and toes crossed, for it is lighting that candle and returning us to the moon for Artemis 1 and celebrating that epic achievement. But we're also looking forward to seeing you as educators here at the Rocket Center real soon, and all opportunities are here for you. And if you have any questions or wanted to communicate any more with me, Paul has my contact information that I'm sure he can easily pass along. But my email address, if you would like to reach out for other programs or other questions that you may have, or outreach opportunities, or other resources that you may have questions about for your classroom use, or any questions based on what I've talked about today. That is my name, Joseph, Joseph, V is in victory, at spacecamp.com. And as educators, again, many hats off to you. Thank you for what you do inside your classrooms. You are doing a big impact, and you are teaching the next generation to do great things. So thank you for having me. I think that was my last slide. Again, thank you for having me. Many congratulations to all the award winners, and congratulations even to the nominees, because you have done, again, great things, and looking forward to even greater things with you in your futures. So thank you again.
Thank you very much, Joseph. Before you go, quick question. Do you know, you had mentioned that there were some educator weekends coming up. Do you have any of those dates?
We always host, coming up in January during the MLK weekend, we do host free admission for educators, so Teacher Appreciation Weekend. We have not posted that on our website just yet, but that is a free weekend that we host, and we will host that again in 2023, January. So put that on your calendars, where we have some various resources that we put out that we have collected and get to meet our education staff. So looking forward to those opportunities. Another thing I did want to, I did not mention it here. We are about to change out our main atrium traveling exhibit, which is currently Planet Pioneers. The last day to see that is on September 5, Labor Day. And we will be rearranging and telling another space story with bringing in commercial partnerships and showcasing some commercial space local events, like with Blue Origin, especially our partners with Blue Origin. So showcasing new pathways for space exploration.
Fantastic. And educators, the Martin Luther King weekend in January of 2023 is Saturday. Do you start on Saturday or Friday?
Saturday, Sunday, and that Monday.
Okay, so that will be January the 14th, which is a Saturday, through Monday the 16th of January 2023. That's a Space and Rocket Center free weekend for educators. They need to bring, I guess, proof of their...
We do show request showing your ID, and that is anything from pre-K to PhD, as Mr. Fitzgerald mentioned earlier, which I really like that coin phrase. So if it's through elementary ed, middle, high, and post-secondary.
Can they bring any of their students with them and get that coverage?
It is usually with it is you get in free, but your other individuals have to pay your admission.
Okay, good to know.
But we do have, if you would like to bring your classroom, we do have opportunities with museum, our ultimate field trips. So ultimate field trip programming is something that we do offer for a daily experience, where you can come to the Rocket Center and experience the Rocket Center with a guide, going through and seeing planetarium show. We have an hour-long STEM hands-on lab with focus on the sciences and technology and engineering and mathematics. And those are, again, for your pre-K programs all the way through our post-secondary programs. So it's an ability, and that too is also found on rocketcenter.com for any options and further details if you would like to plan a field trip opportunity to the Rocket Center. That is also a paid field trip. That's not one of our free resources, but it is one that is quite educationally enriching for any student group that comes through.
Again, Joseph, really appreciate all that you have done for us today and sharing the wealth of information available through the Space and Rocket Center and your education group. And again, that's a lot of that is sponsored through NASA. The Space and Rocket Center serves as the visitor center for Huntsville's Marshall Space Flight Center, and NASA, as part of its charter, is told to basically make information available to educators. And so that agency, probably better than most, has an amazing amount of information available to educators, and I think we all benefit from that. So again, Joseph, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And before we let the Artemis generation discussion go, in honor of our dear departed friend, Woody Williams, His name will fly aboard Artemis 1 when it launches. NASA has a program to allow your name to be put aboard their flights, and we at STEDTRAIN put, in honor of Woody's amazing contribution for HATS and STEDTRAIN, put his name on board. So when that rocket flies, he will join the stars in support of all the great STEM activities that he supported for so many years. So tip the hat to Woody and all he has done for HATS and STEDTRAIN. Next slide, please.
All right, Paul, just briefly before we move on to that next slide, I want to let everybody know that we are recording the ceremony this morning, and I'll be breaking it down into individual videos. And so if you want to come back and catch this wonderful presentation by Mr. Vick, you will find it on the STEDTRAIN YouTube channel within the next several days or so.
Excellent news. Thank you. Okay, for teacher introductions, we will request that the teachers do a quick synopsis of their award-winning proposal and how they intend to get STEM activities, enrichment opportunities to their students in the coming year with their SEED grant. And to lead us off is Miss Jackie Smith from Mill Creek Elementary. Jackie, take it.
Good morning, everybody. I'd just like to start with saying how much I'll miss Woody as well. He has been a big inspiration to me over the years, and he's going to be sorely missed. With the project that we're doing another engineering design process lab. And the main goal of this is just to get kids excited about anything STEM related and to see how they could possibly somewhere down the road that be their career or learn more about it in college or in high school. The big thing that we're working on this year is using drones and the Sphero Bolt robots. It's mainly for kids who aren't quite to that point that they want to be involved with like the FIRST robotics or something like that. That's going to take a lot of after school time. This is for kids who just want to, they see it's exciting and they want to get involved with it. I had a couple of the bolts that I had bought in previous years out at our open house a few weeks ago, and I had parents going, wow, I wish we'd had that when I was in school. So it's generating excitement not only among the kids but among the parents as well. We have every Friday set aside as our programming day, so we're using the drones that we've purchased and the Fitzgerald bolts that I purchased with previous grants. We don't have enough for everybody, but with this grant, it's going to be enough that I'll probably have enough with maybe every 2 kids are going to have to share one, possibly groups of 2 or 3. So this is getting their hands actually on it, and they are so excited about it. And I just want to say thank you for giving them that opportunity.
And thank you, Jackie. Just for the new educators that are new to this process, this presentation today is an opportunity for you to learn a little bit more about how the other teachers are using their STEDTRAIN funds, and perhaps provide an opportunity to work with other teachers in the area to enhance the work that you've done with your presentation. So it's a good colleague working group opportunity to know who's doing, say, for instance, robotics or green power or something like that you could also potentially partner with going down the road. Thank you very much. Now, next, Lynn McQueen of Holy Spirit.
Good morning, everyone. I appreciate the opportunity to show off our progress in the grant. We went ahead and got started this summer. My students last year won the grant for our weather station, and they decided they wanted to enhance that by doing a solar city built out of Legos. So over the summer, the past summer, we had our summer camp, and the students there built a 6-foot tall Ferris wheel that was powered by electric. And we decided that we wanted to convert it to solar power. So we went ahead and did that. And then the students said, well, gosh, we need to build a solar city. And so we have decided to do that with the help of TVA. We met with TVA team from there last spring and discussed our project, and they're on board to help us. And so we designed it, and now we have this past summer, we had our students build the buildings for it, the fire station, the police station, the school, the library, and all that kind of good stuff. And so now they will actually add lights and power to those buildings. And in our STREAM lab, the students will design and learn how to actually run the electrical power to the city itself. And then we will take that electrical power and turn it into solar panels. We'll have solar panels on top of our roof. Right now we have them in our classroom, but this will be on the roof. We had originally planned to put this in a building outside the school, but that has changed, and so we'll be inside the building and everybody can see it every day. It will be located right outside of our cafeteria. So the students will be able to pass by every day and see whether or not we have enough solar power to run the city for that day. It will also be hydro powered. That's going to be a little bit challenging since now we're putting it in the school, but it's up to the students to design how that will work and go from there. But they're very, very excited and getting started with this. It will be pre-K all the way through 8th graders that work on this project. And, we're just very excited to have won another grant from y'all. And we do have some other good news. We will be getting a completely brand new science lab in December. My lab will be completely gutted and a new one will be dropped in over the Christmas break. So we're very excited about that. That will help update all of our STEM programs and so forth. But very, very excited to be working with STEDTRAIN again this year. And as everyone else said, we will miss Woody tremendously. And Philanema, I didn't realize that she had retired also. But thank you again. We look forward to working this program out with y'all.
Thank you, Lynn. Mrs. Shana Smith from Ralph Atkins Elementary here in Fayetteville, Tennessee. Next.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to say at the very beginning, thank you so much for this opportunity and your support. And let me tell you about Ralph Askins School. We are in the heart of Fayetteville. We're a part of Fayetteville City Schools. So we're a Title I school, and we serve grades pre-K through 5th grade. This year's our first year having 5th graders. And we're a brand new program. This is a brand new adventure for all of us. And I've taught 1st grades and 2nd grades for years, and now I'm all of a sudden I'm the STEM teacher, but it's been very exciting. And we did receive a grant previously from TVA, and we bought some robots with that. We quickly realized that we needed some things to go along with our Lego robots. Although the 4th and 5th graders have really been enjoying their Lego Boost kits, and the K through 3rd graders have really been enjoying the Lego Coding Express, we realized that we needed some iPads to go along with that. We didn't have that kind of equipment that was up to date and didn't have enough to go around for the students. And so the STEDTRAIN grant is going to help fulfill that so that we can really get the most out of our materials. And we realized quickly that there are lots of consumable materials that you need for these kinds of programs as well. You need batteries, you need things that you can put in the students' hands. And so there were lots of things that we thought of as reusable types of materials that after going through 500 students, we soon realized were receiving some wear and tear. So trying to serve that many students has been a challenge, and that's where this grant will definitely come in. We want our students to continue tinkering and designing at home. We know that that's really important. They see me once a week. Some classes see me twice a week, but that's not the same as tinkering and designing on a daily basis. And so we want them to have these take-home projects that the parents' eyes light up and say, wow, what did you do at school today? And the students are so excited to tell them about that. We have just begun a unit on simple machines, and the students are loving that. And we finished a unit on 2D and 3D shapes where they were able to put things together with toothpicks and marshmallows and Play-Doh and all of those types of things. We had some challenges with index cards. The students were trying to build the tallest tower, trying to fit their head through an index card, and that really challenged them to think outside of the box in a way that they've never had to think before. And we've got a unit coming up on roller coaster design, and we've partnered with our local utility company, FPU, to do a unit on electricity, and we've got paper circuits and those kinds of things that the students can make and develop and then take home and continue tinkering with. And we're going to continue working with our robots and our coding activities as well. But we've got a lot of designing and engineering to add to that. So we're really looking forward, brand new program. We're looking forward to all the things that we can learn from our peers here and what ideas that you have that we can take and do at our school too. And we just thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, and welcome aboard. Next, Diane Trout of Julian Newman Elementary. Launching the future.
Good morning. Can you guys doing all right today? Hello. All right, so our project was launching the future here at Julian Newman Elementary. We are actually 30 minutes away from Huntsville, so we love the Space and Rocket Center stuff here. We have lots of students that have parents that work in Huntsville on the Arsenal, so we're really super excited about the launch next week. So we can't wait. But launching the future is our project, and if you'll go to the next slide for me, please. We will be purchasing 11 launchers to go with our 10 dash robots and 10 grippers. And these robots and launchers and grippers will simulate force of motion so much better than teachers trying to just have students roll a ball down a ramp for force of motion. We try and get creative with our projects in the lab here. So there's so many different things that our pre-K through third grade students can do with these. And one of the goals this year that I would like to do with these is to have our third graders mentor our younger students on how to use them and have a mentorship program. And that will give our older students ownership of how to be a leader in our school. And it will give our younger students someone to look up to on how to use the robots and coding. So if you'll go to the next slide, there's only 3 slides. So this grant will benefit the students because this will launch students into beginning robotics. They will challenge students to code dash to launch objects a desired length or to hit a target. Redesign will happen if they can't reach objectives. They will have different objectives throughout different projects, and redesign is a huge thing. It's always hilarious to me when I know that sounds awful, but it's hilarious to me when they don't reach their objectives, how they handle it, because that's a life skill they have to learn. You guys all know that things don't always work the first time. So teaching them how to deal with that and how to redesign and how to fix their problems is a huge part of it. So changing the angle or changing the amount of force or how much it's going to grip, those types of things they're going to learn through our Launching the Future project. So they are going to have to do some background research before we even touch the robots. They're going to research projectiles, angles, distance, balanced and unbalanced forces, and that'll give them some background on aerospace technology. And the gripper kits will aid in picking up and moving objects like rover vehicles. And missions will rely on teamwork and collaboration. And like I said, the older students will mentor younger grades, especially the pre-K kids. They can even use these. With Dash, there's a way you can just draw the path, and they think that's the greatest thing ever. Whereas the third graders, they have Blockly, or they can type in the code. So there's lots of scaffolding that can be done with these robots. So scaffolding, problem solving, and we can totally integrate these into our PBL units. So if you'll go to the last slide, we just want to say thank you so much for giving our students this opportunity to be able to launch into the future right outside of Huntsville. Thank you.
And thank you very much. And we look forward to getting updates. Next, we have Whitney Evans from Madison County Virtual Academy with their first LEGO League robotics team.
Hello. I'd like to share a PowerPoint if that's okay. I hope that this works. We have a cute video to share with you too. Let's see. So. Okay, so thank you, STEDTRAIN. We couldn't do this without you. We're the Madison County Virtual Academy, and we are virtual, but our kids come in every day. And with our extracurricular activities, we try to promote soft skills and get the kids interacting with one another. And so our past project from last year was our first year to have robotics at our school, and we had 6 students participate, which is really huge for us because our kids are virtual, so they're kids who like to stay at their house, so getting them to actually come in and participate is really paramount for us. So we also collaborated with another school in Madison County, Walnut Grove School, and then our main goal really last year was to introduce students to robotics and programming and get them excited about that. We mainly worked with just 4th through 6th grades last year, but this year we are also still working with 4th through 6th graders, but we want to eventually move those 4th through 6th graders up to our middle school, which we have done that. We have a new middle school group this year, and then eventually have those in high school robotics. But this year we want to actually compete in our first LEGO League qualifier tournament. We want to collaborate with Walnut Grove again, and one have a lock night. We know that overnight is not our thing, but just have them work with other students and collaborate with them and further build those soft skills. And we also want to build their confidence and their excitement about robotics and computer science. And again, our future goals is just to help these kids matriculate into high school robotics teams so they can participate in high school competitions. And then eventually our school's mascot is the rocket. So I would like to implement a rocketry team. And we just want to thank you again, STEDTRAIN. And I have a cute little video showing what our students did last year. So hopefully you can see this. Hopefully I clicked on the right screen to share. But what our kids did is they programmed the Lego robotics, and this young man is showing you his program on Spike Prime, and he programmed his robot to move with a color sensor. So when he puts this black Lego piece in front of his sensor, this little guy is going to move. And we did this through the materials that we bought with our STEDTRAIN grant last year. So you can see him breakdancing there. And so that little guy is very quiet, and he was able to share his love for robotics that way and get to know some friends. He's actually he skipped 2 grades, so he was a 6th grader last year, and really a 4th grader in age, and he was able to interact with lots of different students and develop his skills. But thank you very much, STEDTRAIN. We could not do this without you, and our kids are definitely benefiting from your generosity and your interest in developing students. And hopefully we will produce competent employees for some of your organizations that so generously donate to STEDTRAIN. But thank you again.
And thank you. Workforce development certainly is a nice benefit from all this STEM education, Whitney. Next, we'll go on to Mr. Daniel Evans of Moores Mill Intermediate School. Daniel.
Yes, sir. So we appreciate everything that has been donated and just the opportunity that Moores Mill is being given through STEDTRAIN. Like Mr. Fitzgerald was talking about earlier, having multiple cars. We are a Title I school just north of Huntsville, and we have increased our enrollment by 140 students from last year to this year due to being the fastest growing area in Madison County. So if you could change the slide. We want to put our energy into green power. This was an area before COVID that was huge for us for after school program, and we were able to fund 1 car. And so we thought when this opportunity came available, the idea was to expand our fleet and have multiple cars so that we have more opportunities for kids to participate. Eventually, we'd like to get to about a 4-car system and include the middle school car as part of it as well. I think it's the F24 or F27, so that our kids are working on building up to helping the secondary program at Breedingville Middle School and Hazel Green High School. So if you'll change the slide. Currently, 14 schools in Madison County participate in Green Power. Most everybody has at least 1 car, and we do not have any schools with multiple multi-car teams. And so the idea is to have a multi-car team that we can expand and hopefully get up to 100 kids participating in Green Power racing. You'll change the slide. So initially, we want to build a 2nd car to support the continued interest in STEM. We're partnering with local businesses and fabrication shops in our area who are doing work on the arsenal and through the private sector, maybe in ways that we can modify the car to make it more, just to show kids that we can do things and bring our local businesses involved in this. We want to compete in more races and events. We were competitive, but we want to be more competitive in the area and then grow the program to one of the largest in the district. So that's kind of our vision for where this is going and how the funding will be used. And so we just thank everybody on here for their time and just the support of this community as we grow. So thank you from Moores Mill.
And thank you, Dan. Good history with STEDTRAIN. As a very impressive opportunity to bring STEM to students at a number of different levels. Danielle Paseur of Huntsville City Schools, Gifted and Talented Department is next.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. This is my first time to apply for this grant, and I'm so excited. You said I'm in Huntsville City Schools. This year I'm serving two Title I schools in Huntsville City. Have to say, as an educator since 1999, I have only worked in Title I schools. I worked in Madison County, and then I resigned because I had a child at 40. And so I took a couple of years off to stay home, and then I went back as a gifted and talented teacher in Huntsville City. And my grant is kind of a backup. So we know in Title I that sometimes, you have leftover Title I money and you have all of these cool gadgets and things. And we have Dash robots, we have the vinyls where, we code everything. I have Jumpstart Python. And then with my gifted and talented students, their creativity of just wanting it to be an original idea, to be, future innovators and inventors. And we have always had our kind of like makeshift makerspace, and we're always, begging for supplies. Please save your toilet paper rolls. Please save, empty bottles, and all of these children that have ideas, and then they are able to research and design things. And so I was actually on a family trip to New York, and my son noticed a little shop, and it was Dazzling Discoveries. And I'm seeing now the importance of us networking together. Some of you that are just STEM teachers, they had a program at Dazzling Discoveries. Of course, they're an after-school program. People pay lots of money for their children to attend after school, and they had a downloadable resource that you only use copy paper and Scotch tape, or masking tape and things, and create all of these different things that have the STEM guidelines and ideas. And then of course the students can do that, and we can send those home. So I purchased that. I can share that. I was given permission to share that, so I will be happy to share that with everyone. My students have enjoyed it. But then they also, when I was telling them about the lady there in New York, she told me about mobile makerspace cart that one of her teachers had purchased. And so I started researching on Hand to Mine. And since I'm serving two schools, I wanted something to where my students were still able to tinker and build and share things and mentor with younger children and older children, because I do a talent development with kindergarten through fifth grade, as well as my pullout for third through fifth. And so this was a wonderful opportunity. So I thought, my coordinator told me about STEDTRAIN, and I went with it, and I'm so excited that I received this. And my students keep asking, when I told them that I was awarded the grant, and thanks for Verizon. And of course, they were like, oh, we use Verizon. So it was nice to tell them who was actually funding our opportunity. So that kind of backing up, because we do have the robots, but where my children love to take their ideas and start from scratch and then figure out, how can we make this a real thing, is where we're going with this. So it is not a makeshift, but we actually are going to have a turnkey mobile makerspace lab that comes with idea cards, but it also hits all of their STEM standards for kindergarten through fifth grade in this kit. And you can order, or you can use your own supplies to replenish as things wear out or used up. So I cannot thank you enough, and I'm so excited to partner with 10 other people, and I hope we can share ideas, and I'm always looking for more ideas and able to help as much as I can too.
Well, thank you very much, Danielle, and welcome aboard.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Next, we'll have Mrs. Gracie Bender of Owens Crossroads talking about their green power opportunity.
As you can see, I'm not Grace Bender. Grace was unable to join us today. I'm Adam Hampton, principal of Owens Crossroads School. And just want to say thank you. Just want to say thank you to the HATS organization, STEDTRAIN committee, and all the donors for allowing us to extend our STEM opportunities for our students. We have had offerings at Owens Crossroads School through STEM. We certainly want to expand those opportunities for our kids. We not only want our students to be employable, We want our kids to push the envelope. And what better community to be in is in the Huntsville metropolitan area. Just to tell you a little bit about Owens Crossroads School, just like some of the schools mentioned before, we are a Title I school. We are a high-performing Title I school. Our kids can do, and our kids can contribute to this community in the future, not only in service-related jobs, which is an honorable profession, but they can contribute in the technology field as well, science and technology fields, math fields, and in the space field. So we're using this grant opportunity to join the Madison County fleet of green power cars. So I'm excited when I learned about green power. I've heard my principal friends talk about green power. And I'm excited. We're going to use our fourth grade to create a little team, a little race team, and we're going to, participate in some of the premier races of green power. I'm excited about what green power offers, which are critical employable skills, customizable standards, aligned curriculum, car kits and parts, access to premier race events, as I mentioned earlier, training and technical support. All of these things this curriculum offers and the opportunity offers for our students will hopefully at least give them an idea that they can be a part of the advanced manufacturing in the community, also the engineering and aspect of the community, and really want to offer that opportunity for our kids and push them in the direction of some of the great things Huntsville and the surrounding area offers. I think a very basic PowerPoint was provided. As you can see, there's some opportunities from around our county. Some of our fellow county students, as you can see, enjoying their green power car. I can't wait to see one in green and yellow and see our kids competing as well. And just to conclude the slideshow with a thank you again to our donors. Thank you again to the HATS organization. And also a thank you to the STEDTRAIN committee because this will make an impact to the students, the fourth grade students and future fourth grade students at Owens Crossroads Elementary.
Congratulations, Principal Hampton, and thank you very much for your introduction. We look forward to getting an update as the school year progresses. With that, we'll move to Ms. Rachel Evans of New Hope High School with their STEAM labs. Rachel?
Well, good morning. Obviously, this is not Rachel Evans. I'm David Manning, the principal at New Hope High School, and thankful for the opportunity. And we do appreciate the HATS program, and we appreciate STEDTRAIN. And we too, like several have already mentioned, we're the only Title I high school in Madison County. We're a 7 through 12 school, and this grant allows us to fund our Fuse Lab. And our Fuse Lab we started that last year. The Fuse Lab is a fresh approach to a STEAM education, fuses hands-on, choice-based learning backed by research from one of America's top universities. Most important thing about this, Fuse is driven by our students' interest. So through Fuse, students discover new interests and learn from each other and develop autonomy as learners. This is something that has really, it went real well. And in spite of COVID, it went well. And we think it's going to be a great year for us. Also, in the Fuse Lab, students learn basic coding and draft a three-dimensional object using coding they have written, input their coding to create a 3D representation of their coding. And again, it's group-based, so students learn how to plan, develop, and accomplish projects together. I think that's one of the best things for them is they have obviously all students have different backgrounds. They have to come together. They have to work. It will lead them to work-based learning in the real world when they have to work with people from all walks of life and learn, have a task and find a way to get it accomplished and see the result of that. So it's a great opportunity for New Hope High School, and we would love any of your any of the businesses, the partners, you're always welcome in New Hope High School to come and see the amazing things we have going on. But many thanks, and thanks to Dr. Evans for helping our school with this grant. She's done a tremendous job for our school. Thanks. Hope you guys have a great day.
Thank you, Principal Manning. And again, we look forward to the work done at New Hope. With that, we'll move to Marty LeBlanc of Lincoln County High School. Marty.
Hey, everybody. First of all, I love seeing that you're all at home. Thanks to STEDTRAIN helping our program. We are busting up our VEX program, and I'm in my classroom right now. You can kind of see some stuff behind me. My kids are all showing up behind me and heading out to the robotics building because we have VEX spots to put together for the Lincoln County Fair coming up, so we can do some major outreach. Couple things. Our program is just growing by leaps and bounds. We are focusing on the VEX this year, and with the grant money, we're hoping to get our field kids and bring in even more of our area schools. I love seeing the principals out here. Let me tell you, it means a ton to my kids to see our administrative staff come out there. And as with other schools, we're growing by leaps and bounds. Lincoln County High School is, of course, in Lincoln County, and we have grades 9 through 12, and we're roughly at about 1,300 students. We're up higher than we were last year, and already I've got about 40 or so that have come in for robotics this year. Bunch of new kids, which is great. Couple things. Yes, Woody, we definitely miss him. Woody was the one who introduced me personally to the STEDTRAIN grants years ago when we were at a first robotics competition, and he made sure I followed through, and it's been a blessing for our program ever since. I like to see, my kids like to go out and share robotics. We will be at the Lincoln County Fair where we get to reach, I don't know, what do we get, 10,000 plus? I'm not sure. Ron could probably answer that better. But we get to do outreach. We take the robots out on the strip. We have them in the commercial building. So if you get a chance, stop by there and see us. Or if you need somebody to come out and do some demoing for your kids, my kids love to go out on the road. So just give me a buzz and we'll bring some VEX bots and a big first robot and who knows what else we have in our building. I think we do have a bomb bot too. So I love, seeing just like the Solar City, some of these ideas like that Lynn had, and I love the green power cars. I think we need to get into that and just make a big STEDTRAIN team and kick some green power tail on the course. That'd be a lot of fun. Let me tell you some of the things that this program that means more than anything else to me. I look at my seniors going out, and they are, well, first of all, every one of my seniors that has graduated through our robotics program for the past 4 or 5 years that I know of that we've been working with STEDTRAIN, the influence and everything else, they've used what they're gaining in knowledge from robotics, and they're all going into colleges. Every one of my kids have been able to get scholarships due to participating in the robotics and STEM programs. I currently have one of my 4th year students in engineering and a 3rd year robotics kid right now. He's doing work-based learning. He's a senior, and we just started a program where he's going out to our feeder schools. We're starting with our South Lincoln and Highland Rim schools, and he is teaching ethics and STEM programming to kids once a week at these schools. So it's kind of neat to see the mentoring, even 3rd graders down to kindergarten. It's amazing to have kids mentoring kids because they do so much better. And now I'm looking at my kids. I'm going to have another 1 or 2 of my robotics kids going out to reach other feeder schools. So it's just going to enhance how we're able to reach our younger kids with STEM programming. But this is all due to our robotics program in general, which has been greatly affected by STEDTRAIN. And there's a lot of stuff we wouldn't be able to do if it hadn't been for getting our STEDTRAIN grant. So we truly appreciate it. Doors are open anytime if you want us to come visit, or you guys come visit. I don't know if we scared Ron away, if he'll come back and visit us again, but hey, doors are open, and thank you again, because we're able to reach so many people through our community, our schools, everything because of the grants. And we proudly advertise for you.
And thank you, very much appreciated. Wow. The mentoring, students mentoring other students is such an important facet of what we do with STEDTRAIN. And I agree, it's great to see that in action. And it's also great to see students moving up through the grades, moving into college courses and things like that because of their association with STEM in the earlier grades. So again, congratulations. Educators, you are making that happen. Thank you. We will finish now with Ms. Monica Hobson from Limestone County Career Technical Center. Monica.
Good morning. How are you?
Great.
Good. Well, we are with Team 34. We are a FIRST robotics team, and we are based at the Career Technical Center, where I'm a high school gifted teacher. We are a school. We actually service 6 different high schools from the county and 2 from the city, and so 4 of our 6 county high schools are Title I schools. And so this allows us to open up to students who might not otherwise have the experience to be on a robotics team. It allows them to apply and be part of that. So it gives them an opportunity to get up close and personal with engineering by building and programming a full functioning robot. So for us, having this money will allow us to buy parts that make up critical components of the robot that we build everywhere. The parts we plan to buy are ones that we can use several years, and that allows us to update our parts and try to put us on a level playing field with other teams who may have much more money than we do. The bulk of our money that we raise is for travel and registration and food, so money for parts is usually very slim. So we have to reuse our parts pretty much every year, over and over. Parts like the power distribution panel or the PDP will allow us to incorporate more mechanisms on our robot, whether it's climbing, shooting, driving, whatever we might need to do at the time. And we won't have to pick and choose what we think is the most critical for our robot. For the students, that means that they won't be limited in what they can design. It gives us an opportunity to show different designs and how to make these designs work. They'll be able to get hands-on experience, learning new concepts and actually building the robot itself. And what they're doing is college level work actually in a high school setting. They'll be able to learn C++ coding, learn how to use CAD design software to create and design parts. But they also learn how to work as a team and learn valuable soft skills. Not all of our students are going to go into a STEM field, but they still learn valuable skills that they can use all at the same time. We do use this robot a lot in outreach events and demonstrations where we go and give back to our community for nonprofits. So having a functioning robot helps us to promote STEM in our Limestone County area and in Athens City. Our past robots we've taken to local events and have let the community drive and shoot and do different things with it. So we plan to do the same with our next robot. By having that in our classroom, out in the community, our goal is to inspire students to consider STEM fields. This is actually our first time to ever apply for this this grant, and we're very, very appreciative of it.
And thank you, Monica, and thank you for the work you've done in your community and getting the STEM and the life lessons associated with that out to your students.
Yes, thank you.
With that, we are going to be wrapping up this morning's presentations. Ron, remind me, or maybe Allison, will the checks be coming out directly from Allison Cash?
That's correct. I will get her a list this weekend, and we'll try to get those checks out as quickly as we can. But they will be mailed, since obviously in a virtual environment, we can't actually hand you a check like we do in normal years.
Yes, everyone enjoyed the virtual snacks. But yes, the real checks should be coming in the mail from HATS. Allison Cash is our treasurer on the HATS side. And again, educators, thank you very much for all you do to make great things happen for the students in the area. Congratulations on your awards. I open up the meeting for anyone has any questions or any follow-ups that they may want to do. We've got a few more minutes here. Anyone?
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to say was if there's anything you need, I mean, we'll be coming to visiting your classrooms through the year, but if there's anything that y'all need support in somebody supporting a career fair or anything like that, if you could just reach out, we're more than welcome to help and maybe get some people to support even from the individual either companies or societies that you saw. We're here to help to be a partner as well as the rest of the year, this semester and next semester. So don't feel shy of just reaching out for anything else that you need in your schools.
Exactly. And let me follow up. A very good point, Jennifer. Jennifer's a member of our STEDTRAIN committee. And a member of the STEDTRAIN committee will be assigned to each of the STEDTRAIN grant awardees, and that person will be your primary contact with the STEDTRAIN committee. And that person or persons may be reaching out to you soon to schedule a visit down the road. I know as part of your proposal submission process, you indicated which month would be a better month to reach out to the STEDTRAIN committee to have someone come and visit. We are, as part of our money management and review of all the good work done by the educators, we always send a STEDTRAIN committee member out to the students, to the educators, to kind of review the progress of the grant and to see if any questions come up. And as Jennifer mentioned, we have a number of resources that may be available that we can share with each of the teams. So, you know, we will be assigning you members of our committee to reach out to you, but feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions in the short term. Any other good inputs? Educators, donors, committee members?
So you said Saturday, September, is that the 10th, Marty?
I believe it is. It's the Saturday of Whistle Stop. I'm fortunate enough to also be a judge, so I'll be in judging, but for part of the time. But my mentors and kids will be out demonstrating. We're taking Vex spots, the first robot, probably our bomb bot, and we set them up so we let the kids drive them.
Okay. It just said September the 0th, so I was just assuming.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I wear trifocals. I'll blame it on that, even though my typing was a problem.
Hey, Marty. This is Allison Rhen. Yes, we've been talking via email. Thank you so much for helping out with the whistle stop, with the Tinker Tent for the kids.
No problem.
Thank you. We are still looking for possibly a green power race car to be on display. If anyone has any information on how we could get that, we think it'd be great for the kids to see one of those electronic race cars that was built by students there. Of course, they won't be able to drive it, but you know, for liability reasons. But we would love to have one on display and everything. If anyone has any contacts to get that to Erica Campbell, Marty, or anybody online, please let us know. And I believe that some schools have like a CPR dummy that actually is like a real like hospital type for training purposes and things. If anyone knows how to get in touch with one of those, that would be wonderful too, to have that on
James Clemens has one of those for their health academy.
Can you send me a contact over there so I know who to go through? That would be awesome. It's real easy to reach me. You can just reach me at board@hats.org.
Okay.
And my name again is Allison Rhen. And that way, because like you said, it's in a couple of weeks, so we've got a short stint here. But thank you all so much, and congratulations, teachers. You know, I think you're going to do great things with your students. So we're so pleased and excited for you all.
Definitely. And Marty, real quick, when's the Lincoln County Fair where you'll be exhibiting?
The Lincoln County Fair, I believe it's September 17th through the 24th. I would say if you come there, we also park cars as a fundraiser. So park in the robotics area parking, like right outside the front gates. And there's a white building, has a commercial building. We set up a display in there and we have everything up with our robots, and we let kids run the robots and talk to the public about it.
Thank you. Other comments from educators, committee members? Hearing none, I propose that we close the meeting. Allison just in the chat area provided the email address she mentioned, the bod@hats.org. Again, thank you all. Congratulations. Look for your checks coming in the mail soon. If there's any questions, read STEDTRAIN website page. Have a great rest of the day. Take care all. Signing off.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.